Hey guys, it's Chelsea, and I have another fun activity for us to work on. Talking lips. Yeah, that's right. We're going to make this today. It's going to be so good. You're going to love it. Okay, materials. 1 piece of notebook paper. We actually need this to be a square today. And if you already have a square piece of paper, awesome. You have a leg up. And if you don't, or you have something else, it doesn't have to be notebook paper. This is just what I have. So we're going to use my trick for getting a square out of a rectangle, which is on this short side, pick one of these corners. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to fold it down to this long side, which essentially means I'm folding this corner exactly in half. That's how you get it. So this corner gets folded in half. This short edge lines up perfectly with this long edge. So I like to work on the corner first and get that lined up. And then once your corner is exactly in half, then you know exactly where this edge needs to be on the long half. And looks like this now. No overhang on either side. Is that true? That is now true. Hey, if you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. It's just paper. You can go back and fix it. Okay. So now we have this, which we don't need. So I like to take a pen. If you don't have a pen, that's okay. You can still get the same results. I'm going to just use a pen so you can see what I did, which is trace the edge of that triangle flap like that. Okay. So, as you can see, this part is a square. That part is extra. So that part is your cut or fold line. So if you have scissors, go ahead and chop that right off. If you don't have scissors, it is now your fold line. So you have this triangle edge. And so I like to just fold right along the triangle edge, but you can do it open too. I just find that triangle edge is the perfect guide. See, that's our line. Okay, so fold that close. Get just the tiniest drip of water on your fingertips. And you're going to moisten that fold line. And you're going to flip this around to the other side. Moisten again. You do not need a lot of water because the more water you use, the soggier the paper gets. And when you have soggy paper, it's not so great for folding. Okay, so now we have this. We have this. I like to take one hand and put that down as close as possible to that seam. This is going to anchor the paper. And then take your other hand and just gently, ever so gently, pull that paper apart. Go nice and slow. Be patient, because if you try and go too fast and rush it, you might rip paper that you don't want ripped. And then you just have ripped paper for your project, and I don't think anybody likes that. I know I don't like it. Okay, so this is extra now, but you don't have to throw this away. You can use this for a million different things. We're just not going to use it right now. This is what you should have right now. And you will notice when you open it, it is a perfect square. I mean, you know, it's essentially a perfect square. This is exactly what we want. These holes don't bother me. If they bother you, cut them off. Make a smaller square. You know what the formula is. You just need to have it be able to fold diagonally in half into a triangle with no overhanging edges. And then it will always open to a perfect square. That's math. I'm sure Mrs. Nevin could tell you how to mathematically arrive at that point. I just know how to paper-wise arrive at that point. Okay, so we have this, and this is actually our first step. Take a square piece of paper, fold it in half diagonally. Perfect. We're well on our way. Okay, so take your paper, put it so the fold edge is facing you and the point is pointing away. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I'm doing. You don't need to do anything just yet. Yes, I'm reinforcing this fold line. Reinforcing our fold lines is going to be very important down the road. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing first, and then you can try and copy along. What I'm doing is I am folding this triangle into thirds. And unlike the way we did our rectangle, I don't have a perfect method of doing it. I don't have a foolproof method of doing it. This is me trying to line it up so that point is inside this edge, and this point is going to be lined up with the exact edge of that. So it just takes a little fiddling. Okay, see what I got there? That's just about right. So I don't want any overhang here. Your paper might fight you on this. And that is because that is in its nature, because the paper is not the boss of you. You are the boss of the paper, and we were telling this paper that we want it to be talking lips. And the paper's like, so go ahead and show it's who's boss in a gentle but firm way. All right, so now this corner, I did not press any of this flat. This point is now inside that corner, and that point is now pointing to that corner. It's pretty close. And I haven't folded the rest of this down yet because I want to make sure that it is as close as I can make it. And I want to make sure that all of the layers are lined up. I don't want anything winging out. Okay, so I am going to squeeze these points here to sort of give us a set. And then I'm going to lay it down. All right, so let's see if you can see what I'm doing. I am holding one part of it, all of it, so it doesn't wing around. And then I'm just taking this corner, I'm starting at the bottom, and I'm just pushing up the seam. And because I'm holding the other point, it's going to do exactly what I want. All right, so I'm going to do this here. So that is what that just did, like that. And now we're just going to do the other one. And we just have that little squeezed placeholder, so that's why I was able to do that. Okay. Take one hand, hold that corner, hold the whole thing down, and gently but firmly slide your finger up to make that a pressed seam. So it should look like this. If these directions are unsatisfactory, I apologize, but I don't know that everybody has like a measuring tape. I usually don't, so that's why I have to eyeball. But if you have a measuring tape and you're using a regular piece of notebook paper, each fold is about 3.5 inches. See that? And then this distance is 3.5 inches. And then this distance is 3.5 inches. Okay, so if you have some sort of measuring device, I would say go ahead and mark off 3.5 inches on each thing so that you would know where those folds are going to be. Three and a half, 3.5, 3.5. Okay, let's get some folding done. All right, good. Now we have this. Excellent. So the first step is we are going to see how this flap here makes yet another triangle. we're going to fold this triangle in half right there. So that point is going to go up there. I'm going to draw that fold line for you. Okay. That is our fold line. So it's going to go like that. I'm going to do this on the table because I'm going to want to reinforce that fold. By reinforce, I mean just make sure that it is as crisp as possible. No slappy folds. Okay, so that point went to that point on that triangle, like that. Same thing for over here. That point, this point is going to go to that point. That's our fold line. See. Fold. Okay. So I find the best thing to do is, all right, so that's how that looks. I like to get that point up to the point that I'm folding it to and then work backwards. We have many more triangles to fold. So like these two are two new triangles. All right, so that point is going to go to that point, folding this point in half. That point is going to go to that point, folding this point in half. I'll draw those fold lines, and I'm going to fold one so you can see what I'm doing. Folding one. All right. Okay, so these both were like that. That folded down like that. This one's going to go next. Okay, reinforce your folds. And just be gentle while you reinforce because you don't want to rip, obviously. But you also don't want to put any weird wrinkles in either. Okay, so now that's what that looks like. Okay, we're going to fold yet another set of triangle flaps, these guys right here, but we're going to fold them slightly differently. So they're not going to be exactly evenly in half. We're going to fold from the center point out. So this edge is going to get lined up with this edge. Let me draw a fold line on both of them. And because it's not exactly center, this fold line might be a little wonky looking, but I'll fold it. I'll fold one so you can see. So the easiest way to do this, start from the center of that point and line the rest of the paper up, working backwards. Okay, so that was our fold line right there. And we folded this up to there. Yes, I know this part is hanging out the edge. That's exactly what we want. And we're going to do this one. So we're folding this point in half. So this edge comes up to that line. Okay, reinforce the seams. Okay, we got two little wings now. That's what the whole thing looks like, sorry. Okay, so now we've got these two wings. These are also triangles. They're not perfect triangles. That's okay. We're going to fold the little triangle that this edge, see how what's hanging off the edge here is a triangle? We're going to fold that triangle in half. Let me show you what I mean. Make that line. Okay, now that is sloppy work. Okay, so I made this line so you can see what triangle I'm talking about. This triangle. That gets folded in half. Also, this triangle, and I drew our fold line right down the center of it for you. So that is going to happen like that. Let me do it. And I'll do the other side too. Okay. So that happened like that. And that happened like that. Okay, so you still have a little baby triangle hanging off the edges here. That's okay. We're not going to fold that triangle. This last triangle was difficult enough to fold because it was so small and so many layers. Okay. Take one more second and just make sure that every single fold that we just made is pressed well, reinforced. Very nice. Every single one, even the outside ones of the big one and the bottom one. Okay, good. So this is what we have right now. This step is very upsetting because all of that hard work we did, we are going to unfold. Yep, I know. It hurts me too. We've unfolded every single triangle we just made. Wait a minute. We're also going to unfold the big one. We're back to the square. I know, it's crazy. We just did so much work. Okay, but here's where the magic starts. Okay, so you will notice that, so I'm holding this in the diamond shape, not the square shape. In the diamond shape. The top and the bottom of my diamond are relatively unfolded except for this. That's the only fold there. And then the sides have all the folds of all the work we just did. That's perfect. That's how you want to work this. So there are a whole bunch of steps here, and I'm going to go through it as slowly as possible. And I'm going to try and use a couple of different color highlighters so you can see what step I'm working on. Because when I was trying to figure this out, this is the part that was very confusing to me. All right, so first fold we want is this baby triangle right here on the edge. So I highlighted it in blue. This is not a new fold. This fold already exists. We already made that. That was our last fold of the last move. So all we want to do is fold that in. And if you've been pressing and reinforcing your seams, it's going to go so easily. All right, that's the first move. The next move is this fold and this fold we're going to be working on. Let me highlight it for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. These two folds in orange. Okay. So this first fold went in. This one, you'll see, has sort of an arrow, and it's going to go that way, which is out. If you're lying it flat, it's going towards the table. So one of these folds already wants to do this. That's going to bend back really easily. The other one is going to be a little bit fussier about it, and that's okay. We're, again, not making a new fold. That fold already exists. We already made that. What we're doing is bending it the other way. So if this is on the table, it's bending down, not up. One of them is already doing this. So now you are going to bend both of them towards that center because it's in a sort of V shape. And I want you to resist the urge to make this like a flat fold. You're going to fold each side up to that point, but not fold that point. So it should look like that. Okay. The next set of folds we're going to do is this V right there. So I'm going to highlight that in green. Okay. And it's also important to note that this center line right here in the middle is also going to be a green line. You don't have to worry about that for right now, but that's going to be important to note. Okay. So these green lines, see how this is pointing that way? It's because that's where our folds want to go. So the orange ones went down and these green ones are going up. So as before, one of these folds is ready to go in that direction. This one, not so much. So we're going to just help it along. These are not new folds. These are the same old folds going in a different direction. And like that orange guy, you don't want to make any new fold. We just want to go right up to the point where they meet and make sure that they're going to fold in the same direction. Did I just do that the way I wanted to? I'm going to bend it this way. Okay. So now this line, this one is the next one we're working on, and that I'm going to do in pink. And I'm also going to do the other side in pink, and you'll see why when we get there. Okay. Okay. So what's going to happen now is we have this blue line, which we pointed in, the orange line, which we pointed back, the green lines, which we pointed in. So we're going to put these green lines together. We're going to sort of pinch them together while keeping blue line pointy and orange down. All right, so let's see if I can. I'm going to do this in a way so that you can see what I'm doing, but it's not going to be easy for you to sort of copy. It's just these green lines are going together. So you're going to pinch. Okay. So if I were doing that like you, I would fold that orange guy back and sort of pick him up and pinch those greens together like that. Okay. Then this pink line, I'm gonna just fold that like that. Just so that I can do that. All right, so remember that move with the green? This green lines got pinched together. So now you'll see, this is our pink line right there. Those pink lines are going to meet together. But it's gonna be like this whole maneuver. Okay, so we've got these green lines pinched. Remember this green line? These green lines are going to head towards that green line while these pink lines get together. I know, it sounds insane. It's not insane. It actually works. All right. Watch this. Those are our two green lines right there. Those are going to head together, but they're not going to meet. And you'll notice that while I'm doing that, these pink lines are already trying to come together. So it's going to do that. So now that guy is fussing with me a little bit. That's like orange and blue. And that's okay because this is a new move for them. So I'm going to just gently make sure that everything is there like that. Okay. I know it's wild. Huh? Okay. Don't worry. We still have another side to do. Okay. This side should go pretty easily. So I'm going to just undo this because it's going to make it easier for me to show you. All right. So I'm going to mark all of these seams the exact same way they were before, but then we'll go through and take all of those folding steps slowly. Okay. And if this helps you to color code this for the first time you make this, go ahead and do that. That's fine. You'll end up with, a crazy bohemian set of talking lips for your first try. But once you figure out how to do this, then it's pretty easy to do it every single time afterwards. Okay. Blue line. Baby blue triangle line. That guy just gets folded in. Right? Then we've got our orange line. Orange line gets folded that way, but no new folds. And we're just folding on the old fold lines and making sure they both fold the same way. So watch that point. Be careful when you get up to that point. There we go. Okay. Now we've got these green lines. So orange went down, green lines go that way, or that way, or whatever. Because we're going to want those green lines to touch. we are folding up to the point. Don't make any new creases. It's going to be super tempting to make new creases. All right, so it's going to look like that. And then we finally have this pink line here. Whoops, sorry. Pink line. The pink line just gets folded over like that once. Okay. So start this from the bottom. So that's what I recommend doing, is just making sure all those folds are in the right direction. Since the final move is a 2 hands on deck situation, you want to make sure everything's going in the right direction. Okay. Blue line in, yellow line, or sorry, orange line back. Greens are going to meet together for the pinch. All right, so now these greens are going to head towards this green line, while the outside pink lines are going to snap up together. So from this direction, it's going to be, they're going to do that. And from this direction, you're going to push that green line until, don't force it, just until you get a little tension, and then bring those pink edges together. Okay. So this is the part where just having all of your folds, see, this is that, and then that, and it goes like that. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, where'd that go? And you are the boss of the paper. So if you know you're folding down the correct folds, just be patient with it. The paper is just a single cell or double cell organism, not a complex thinking human being. So, you can be patient with the paper and just gently urge it to go in the direction that you want it to go. So it should look like this. This is our little sandwich here. Okay. That was the hard stuff. Everything else is super easy. Okay. So put that down with the point facing away, right? So we're going to take this top part. This corner is going to fold down to here, and that corner is going to fold down to here. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. And I'm just going to make this little fold line so we can see. Okay. That corner there, that corner there. That is our fold line. You're going to see, because it's, you're folding a square basically. And we can all do that. Okay. So this is what you should be seeing now. Like that. Okay. So now that point is going to get folded to this center, and you'll see that this part is waiting for this triangle to be made. It's going to be a perfect fit. But I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So that pink dot goes to that pink dot. That is our fold line. Okay, like that. Like that. Okay, one more on this side. So now, all right, so below these wings, it's this little rectangle area. What that triangle wants to come out. Okay, so this little rectangle area is getting folded in half. So that corner goes to that corner goes to that corner. I'll show you what I mean. Guys, we are almost done. We have like 4 moves left. Okay, so that corner to that corner, that corner to that corner. That is our fold line. Okay, so that is what that looks like. It's hilarious that these arrows are. Okay, so now you take this, flip it over. We're going to do the exact same thing. So that corner goes to that corner, that corner goes to that corner. Actually, we have these helpful pink lines. So they're basically showing you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to just do the blue arrows again. Even though I suspect you know what I mean. But I hate when instructions are unclear. Okay. That corner to that corner, that corner to that corner. So I always do corners first, and then I work backwards to the fold. Should look like this now. Wait, is that accurate? Sorry, upside down. Should look like this now. No, I was right. It should look like this now. Sorry, I'm trying to do this so that you can see what I'm doing, and then I lost the thread. All right, so now this point goes up into this point, and you can see that that shape is already waiting for you. It wants to go exactly where there's room for it. So that is going to go to that. Easy fold. Okay, like that. Okay, this is our very last fold right now, and you know what it is because we already did it. So that corner is going to that corner, that corner is going to that corner. Show you what I'm talking about. Okay, that to that, that to that, that is our fold line. Okay, very last fold. Okay, so with that very last fold, so you should be seeing this now. With this very last fold that we just did, go ahead and take hold of that. And then on the other side, there's that last fold on the other side, the identical one. Go ahead and take that. I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to flip it out to you. You should flip it to yourself. And then you're going to take these and just pull them apart. Look, we did it. We did it. Okay. Now you can decorate however you want. You can make a second copy now that you have like the first one to follow along with and you don't have to draw all over because this one's got weird orange mouth. Although, I think it's kind of cool. I did this guy in green just because you can do whatever you want with it now. And that's it. I hope that this was fun for you. I know that you guys got there. I know you were able to do it. You're amazing. And I will think of more fun stuff for us to do. Bye. Miss you. Hope you had fun.